As I said earlier when I was talking, I actually didn't pick. It wasn't like I always cared a lot about immigration and grew up. Like, I'm not an immigrant in the sense that I was born in the U.S. My parents were both born in New York. I'm not Latino or Hispanic. But when I first heard this story, Carmen's story in particular, it struck me as something that was kind of unjust. And so, and the more I became to know her, it was kind of through my journey of making the film that the topic became so important to me. And what was really cool about making a documentary film is you get to like totally immerse yourself in something. Like, it might be anything. You can make a documentary about sports, or you can make a documentary about whatever subculture, about punk rock music or whatever it is that you're into, and you get to like totally dive into that world. So I was just telling what I thought was an interesting story, and then as I dived into it, immigration became what I realized something that we really need to talk about in a different way and address in a different way. And I didn't make the film to make people think one specific way. I mean, the film doesn't end and say, go vote for somebody, although this version does have a quote from Obama at the end. It's not telling people to vote for Obama or to do anything. It's just hoping that people will think a different way or look at the people in their own communities a different way. So again, I became involved in immigration through making the film. And the film, just like for the audience, for me, getting to know Carmen and making the film was a journey, and I wanted to bring the people that see the film on that journey. Impacted audiences that have seen it. It's been seen by some important people, in Washington and stuff like that, and it's been seen by people, the undocumented immigrants themselves, and they can't do anything, but they love seeing a story like theirs told. So I think there's different ways to affect change. One is like vote, right? Let's vote for the representatives that believe that America should be a more open country to immigrants. Or B, let's advocate for that on like more local level, right? Like there's always local things happening with immigration. There's always local problems, like where can the guys get picked up to work, or should they be allowed to drive, or whatever kind of local things. There's all different ways to fight. And the other one is just to like be nicer or more understanding or empathetic to the immigrants in our community. So I feel like if people in the audience have done that and have been more embracing or more welcoming of the immigrants amongst us, then it's made a difference. It hasn't changed the law yet, and I don't know if any film has changed that. Even Michael Moore, makes like Fahrenheit 9/11, which was, you guys might be familiar with, probably what the big, most famous, most highest grossing documentary film of all time. It made 150 million at the box office, which was crazy for a documentary. But then right after that, George Bush got reelected as president. So it might not have done what he wanted it to do, but did it still make an impact on people? I think it probably did.